Some mountains in men are bigger than you think. Some rivers so fast, hell, you can't take a drink. Some burdens so
Hey folks,
heavy.
Great Northern Prepper back here again. This is going to be the practical application, the Prac App phase of my one-time pad video that I did. This is to help people who want to learn more and kind of want a little bit of hands-on but helping you out sort of training, I guess, so that you could take what you learned there and the little bit that you practice there. This is the actual practical application. I have all that you need here for your one-time use pad. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be practicing sending 3 messages and practicing sending and receiving 3 messages. So this is test number 1, and this is going to be a sending message. So what we're going to be doing is the message to be sent is going to be my first message. So as you can see, as I talked about in the video, it's brevity. So you're going to cut down on words that you don't necessarily need, the some of the mostly vowels that you don't need. So instead of FIRST, it's going to be FRST. Message is not going to have an E or an A in it. It's going to be MSSGE. If you can always do this however you want to, but we're going to be sending this message. So if you remember in the video that I did on how to send the message, first what you're going to be doing is going to the letter number cipher located right here. And I want you to get out a pad of paper, however you want to do it, and I'd recommend a pencil, not a pen, because you may need to make mistakes. And what you're going to do as we go along is, whenever I say to stop, just press pause, do that part on your own, then come back, and then continue on to the next part. Okay? So, what we're going to be doing here is sending this message in here to someone. So we're going to need to encode it. So the first thing you're going to do is write down these letters right here on your pad of paper, and then below it, below the M, for example, as we start out, we're going to be looking over here, and we are going to be taking 3 and 6 is going to be our first set of numbers, because M is 3, 6. Y is going to be 1, 8. Now continue on and get all those sets of numbers done, and pause the video right now. Okay, now that you have those numbers, we're going to be sending it with key number 2. So that key is located right here in the yellow. So what you're going to do is you're going to put that key below it, and once again, I'm not putting this all out here right now, but I'm expecting that you've watched the very first one. So actually, why don't we go back just a second. So this first one I'll do with you, and from here on out you can do these on your own. So M is going to be 3, 6. Sorry about that. 3, 6. Y is 1, 8. F is going to be 3 and 9. R is going to be 1 and 7. S is going to be 8 and 7. T is going to be 6, 8. M is going to be 3, 6. S is going to be 8, 7, and then 8, 7 again, because there's 2 S's. G is going to be 1, 9. E is 3, 8. And the sign off is going to be dot, dot, so that's 8, 9, 8, 9. And as you can see right here, just so you didn't see it before, the sign off, and you're going to have these on your pads or however you want to do it, but I'd recommend having something different every time instead of, like X as being your sign off or dot X or whatever you'll see as we go along. and you're going to want to indicate that on here. So now that we have that, now we're going to go down and we're going to highlight the key, and we are going to put it below our message. If you remember how we did this, we add these numbers. So stop it right now and pause it and do this on your own, and then we're going to go through it one at a time right after that. Okay, now that you have that below there, we're going to add these. 3 plus 6 is 9. Oops, that's got to go up. Sorry about that. And one more. Okay, 3 plus 6 is 9. 6 plus 6 is 12. But remember, we drop the first number, or we keep the second number. So if it's 12, 1, 2, we keep the 2. 1 plus 6 is 7. 8 plus 6 is 14. So we're dropping the 1. We're keeping the 4. 4. 3 plus 7 is 10. So we're keeping the second number, which is 0. 9 plus 6 is 15. So that's 5. 1 plus 1 is 2. 7 plus 1 is 8. Where are we at? Okay, 8 plus 9 is 17. 7 plus 8 is 15. 6 plus 5 is 11. 8 plus 1 is 9. 7 plus 3 is 10. 6 plus 6 is 12. 8 plus 1 is 9. 7 plus 1 is 8. 8 plus 9 is 17. 7 plus 5 is 12. 1 plus 7, 8. 9 plus 7, 16. 3 plus 7, 10. 8 plus 2, 10. 8 plus 6, 14. 9 plus 6, 15. 8 plus 6, 14. 9 plus 0, 9. Sorry about having to do all the addition, but that's just how I check myself when I'm doing these so I don't send the wrong number. So now, this is the initial part of our message. That is the enciphered part of our message. But that is not the whole message. What the whole message is going to be is the authenticator key as well, in addition to the number of the key. This is how I taught you. You can devise your own systems if you want to. I just find this to be a very helpful system. And throughout the test, they're all going to be 4-digit numbers. You can actually mix these up if you want to. Have 9, 8, 7, 3, 2, 1. However you want to do it. Not that that really matters at all either. But the authenticator could be however many digits you want, but you want to have that pre-talked about with whoever your recipient is, so that you have 100 pads using the 4-digit key. You're going to want to, and then the next 100 pads is going to be a 3-digit key. You're going to want to make sure that you go through all the keys here on the same page, and that you know that you're slipping to one, so that when they go to look for it, they know what to look for. So the authenticator is 1653. We're using the second key, so that'll be a 2. So like I said in the how-to video, sorry to kind of go over this stuff again, but just in case you forgot, it is going to be this part. This is what the person, when they get the message, is going to look at. They're going to see 1653. That's going to indicate to them what pad they are on. So just in case they thought they were on the next pad, which was 7892, they go, oh wait, that's not the right one. And they're going to go and look, okay, it's 1653, and we are on key 2, so that's what they're going to use to decode it. If this is the number that you got, then congratulations. And it should be, because we went through it. Congratulations, you got it. So now we're going to go on to test number 2. So we are on test number 2, and the message you're going to be doing is getting better all the time. And we're going to be using key number 10. So what you're going to want to do, just like the last one, is you're going to want to get these. And I showed you an example of a more intricate cipher before, where definitely on the sign-off key, you're going to want to add another one of those in there. You're also going to want to add in letters that you use often, such as T's, R's, S's, E's, other vowels, and you can put those all in there. I originally had them like that, but then I realized that I'm going to give you a different set of numbers for the correct one, because you could have two different for T's and stuff like that. So for the sending portion, it's just going to be like this. But remember to add those in there to kind of make it just a tad bit more secure, I guess. So what you're going to want to do is get the numbers for each letter and write those down. And then you're going to want to take key number 10 and encipher that. Then in front of it, add the authenticator 7041 and the number, since it's 10, that's going to be the 0, because it's going to be a 5-digit indicator at the very beginning of what pad and what key you're using for this test phase. So it's going to be the number 0 and key number 10. Yeah. So now pause the video, write all that out, and then when you come back, you are going to see the answer and test it against your own. Okay, now we are back. If you don't have the answer yet, pause it again. I'm about to give it out. Here is the answer. So if that's the number that you got, then you are absolutely correct. Great job. If not, go back. Make sure that you did all the proper procedures, that you know, one of the common mistakes can be when you are adding the numbers from the letter cipher to the key, that you forgot to, you know, it was an 8 plus 7 and you put down you know, a 1 5 instead of just a 5, or that you may have just accidentally done the wrong number. So go back and do it again, and then see if you get the number. And if you go back a couple times, you should be able to figure out what you did wrong. So now we are going to go to the last and final test. Okay, we're back for the last and final test. This is going to be your message. Sending master. You are now a sender master. And the key that we're going to be using is key number 1. And that is this key right here. So you're going to be using key number 1. Remember again to add the authenticator key plus the key number for the 5-digit, you know, indicator at the very beginning of your message. And once you go and do that, I'm going to pause the video right now, and once you're done, come back and check your answer against the answer that I have. Okay, now we are back. We are going to be, oops, sorry about that. I have to do this in text. And now I'm going to give you the answer. And that should be your answer right there. That should be the number you are sending. If it is, great job. If not, once again, go back. Make sure you understand it. If you're still not getting it, go back and watch the video again. About midway to 3/4 of the way through, midway through, I start talking about how to send. Just go back, rewatch that portion again, and just make sure that you're doing everything that you're supposed to. So now we're going to be going into the fourth test. The number 4, 5, and 6 are going to be receiving the messages. So let's go to that portion right now. Okay, folks, here's the portion where we're going to be decoding received messages. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to be sorry, I didn't get that all copied in there correctly. We are going to be getting these messages and then decoding them with the key and then reading the message. So right now, write down this number, and then the key that we're going to be using is key number 8. Now how we show that is you're going to see the first 4, 4, 8, 7, 9. That shows that this is the correct pad. The 5th number is 8. which shows that it is key number 8. So what we're going to be doing is putting this down here, and we'll be eliminating this portion right here. Remember to do that. This is not part of the encoded message. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there for a second. This is going to be the key, and this is going to be the number that we use to authenticate or to decode the message. But you have to make sure that you do not keep this number in there. So when you're writing down the number, eliminate the authenticator code at the very beginning. If not, you're going to get some weird message. But I'm going to go over this just briefly, the first 5 or 6 numbers, just to make sure that you remember how to do this. So when you send a message, you add. When you receive a message, you subtract. You can flip this, do this however you want, but you just have to make sure that both parties understand and that they you know, have an idea of what's going on, so that you don't subtract on a message but he thinks you're adding or whatever. You just want to make sure you're both on the same page. It's usually best, because it's not going to hurt your encryption or whatever, to know that you subtract when you receive and you add when you send. So 8 minus 6 is 2. 6 minus 0 is 6. 4 minus 3 is 1. 6 minus 1 is 5. 8 minus 9. Now this is kind of where things can get a little bit tricky if you don't remember how to do this correctly. Because what happens is 8 minus 9 is going to be negative 1. Now you don't write 1 there, or negative 1. What you do is, just like when you're adding, you subtract 10, etc., or subtract 10, or subtract 10 from the number and keep the second number. What you're going to do here is, when you come into these numbers that are going to be negative, what you do is you add 10 to the top number, to the encoded message number. The encoded message always goes on top. The key always goes on the bottom. So you add 10 to the encoded message number up there. So 8 plus 10 will be 18. 18 minus 9 is 9. 9 minus 1 is 8. 1 minus 8, run into that again. So we're going to have 10 plus 1 is 11, is a 3. Now, pause the video, do the rest of this yourself. And when you come back, I will have the answer. So pause it now. Okay, now I'm about to reveal the number. So this is the number that you should have gotten. Or I'm sorry, that's the encoded message. What the translated, once you get those numbers, then remember, then you go over and then you turn it into letters. But this is what you should have gotten. Nice to meet you. .zz, because the sign off is ZZ. Just threw the dot in there for the heck of it. So that is the message that you should have gotten once you got all said and done with it. So as you can see, with a 40 digit key, we used almost all of it, and that's the only message we got. That's why you want to have large keys. But let us now move on to the next test. Okay, now we're on to test number 5. And what we're going to do is, this is the message you just received. Now obviously you see the 1285 again, that's the authenticator. And we're going to know that we are on key 5, which is this key right here. So write this number down, as well as the key indicated right here, and decipher the message. Once you do that, convert them into the letters and symbols located here, and come back and you will see what the message is. Pause the video and get to work. And what you're going to see here is a shameless plug for myself. The message was visit GNP, standing for Great Northern Prepper, everyday.xx, which is the sign off XX to let you know that there's no longer a message coming. So if you got it, great job. If you didn't, once again, go back, make sure that you did the correct additions of 10 to the code and not to the key, making sure that the key is located below the message you received, and that if any of these numbers, and I'll just throw this up here just one more time, I'll go up to here, say in this case the very first one, that if 1 minus 9, actually no, I'm sorry, almost flummoxed myself there, 7 minus 9, if you didn't remember to add 10 to make that 17, which would make this 8, the very first one. Then go back and do it again. Just make sure that you got it all down. You're probably getting the hang of it by now, but we have one last and final test to run through. If you've already got a good handle on it, do it just one more time and make sure that you got it. Okay, as we see, we just got an incoming message. It's a long one. So, as you can see, 3180 is the authenticator key. 9 indicates that it is key number 9 that you're going to be using. So, once again, take that key, put it under here, and now we're going to jack that up. And it always helps. I like graph paper for using this. It's probably not a good time to do it. But it works real well for me to kind of keep things organized. I'm not that well organized on just a regular numbered pad. But anyways, this is the key. This is the message. Remember, subtract, 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 subtract. Pause the recording, and when you come back, the answer will be revealed. Okay, now that you're back, or you've been back for a couple seconds, now you see that the sign off there, YY, indicates that this is the message. Congrats, you have it. See, it's not that hard. One-time pads, it's time-consuming, but it's not that difficult. So don't use any of these keys. Don't copy any of these. All these pages, and I should have mentioned it at the beginning, will be located at greatnorthernprepper.com/one-time-pad. All of these tests will be up there, so you can print them off and look at them anytime you want to, as well as any of these videos. So you can retest yourself, or you can just make up your own dang keys and just practice. It's easier to practice sending than receiving, because then you have to make it and send it. But you can practice these again and again. And you can always email me at rmorgan@greatnorthernprepper.com, all lowercase, no spaces. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Obviously, YouTube, you're watching the video. But thanks for taking time out of your day. Also, the Great Northern Prepper has a forum, and I'm trying to push that now. I haven't done it for a little while, but please come and join the forum. Teach what you know and learn what you don't know. You can also find us on iTunes. Please leave a comment and or rating. And if you want to help out the Great Northern Prepper, just go to the main site, and at the newest blog post, whatever it may be, just go to the bottom of it. It's a little link to Amazon, but it's a little link to Amazon with some with some numbers and whatever, a name on it, and save that and bookmark it. What happens is, once you bookmark that, next time you go to Amazon, go through that bookmark, and whatever you buy, small percentage will get kicked back to the site and will help keep things running and all that kind of stuff. It costs you absolutely nothing more than what you normally would have paid. If the book costs $10, if you use our bookmark, it's going to cost you $10. It just means, a few bucks gets sent back to our site and keeps us running. So thanks for your time. If you have any questions, email me. And once again, keep prepping.
I wore out my shoes in that wrong way to run. I blistered my skin working hard in the sun. Supper's almost over and I done cleaned my plate, and there's a light shining yonder, boys, I don't think I'll wait. I'm a laid back one and I've been one so long. I ain't perfect, you can tell by my songs. Brothers, forgive me for all of my wrongs. The good Lord, He's calling, and it's time to go home. I hear Him calling, and it's time to go